Hey guys, what's up? It's good to see you again as always. So, a few days ago I posted on my Facebook and Instagram that I was going to be doing a question and answer session on my next episode. So I got a lot of questions, but a lot of them overlapped. So I picked 15 different questions and I'm going to be answering them now for you. So, the short answer in regards to hitchhiking is absolutely not. I would keep hitchhiking. It didn't matter if I had $1 or $1 billion in the bank, simply because there's experiences that you get from hitchhiking that you can't get from any other way of traveling. But if I had $1 billion, I would eat better. But as far as the hitchhiking, I would keep doing that no matter what. What were my favorite countries to hitchhike in and why? So the why is simple. The why is because the waiting times were the shortest, meaning I got picked up almost right away. And those two countries were Vietnam and Belgium, because in both Vietnam and Belgium, I don't think I waited more than 5 or 10 minutes in either country. In fact, I remember in Belgium, one time I was at a gas station and I remember the gas station was full and I knew most people were going in the direction that I needed. So I actually remember thinking to myself, seeing everyone at the gas station, which one of these people do I want to go in the car with? And I literally chose who I went with hitchhiking. So that was just a cool experience. And Vietnam was just because it was so easy to hitchhike there. They don't see a lot of foreigners hitchhiking, so I got picked up almost right away in Vietnam. No, I have never in hundreds of rides had any bad experience, meaning I've never felt in danger. I have had cultural misunderstandings and language barrier issues, but I have never been in a position where I felt like my safety was at risk or that something bad might happen to me. There's one that sticks out to me. In Israel a few years ago, I was hitchhiking and there was a guy and a girl in a car. Typically, I know if a car will stop for me because they will go slower as they approach me. This car didn't. They were going at a normal rate of speed and then boom, they stopped. So I was a little bit suspicious at first, but they looked okay, so I got in the car. We drove for like 50 kilometers. Before I got out, I asked them, I saw you guys driving at a normal rate of speed and then boom, you stopped. So I'm curious, why did you stop? And they started laughing and the guy told me that they were in an argument and the guy decided to pick me up because he knew that if I was in the car, the argument would stop. So it was just a funny story because the motive behind him picking me up was simply to make the argument stop with his girlfriend. So I thought it was funny. The first one is, there was a guy that picked me up. There was a political refugee from Congo in Africa, and it was very cool to hear his story and what he was saying.
Oui, alors merci beaucoup. Donc, je m'appelle Alex. Je suis en France, ça fait presque 18 à 20 ans. Je suis en France. Je suis arrivé ici comme un réfugié politique. Maintenant, on est des Français. Donc, il y a un garçon, 7 filles. Donc, je me suis raconté avec un ami américain. Donc, je me suis raconté avec l'ami en coup de route. Lui, il fait Allo Stop. Ok, merci beaucoup. Je salue tous les Américains. Je vous aime.
I'll actually link in the description below the episode that I had with him. The second one was I met a guy who was in the FBI in Kosovo, meaning the Kosovo version of the FBI, and it was very interesting to hear what he was saying and what his life was like. That is definitely the fact that I have this camera, because when I'm hitchhiking and I meet somebody, they don't know that I have a YouTube channel, they don't know that I'm gonna ask them if it's okay to film or not. So I definitely didn't want to make anybody uncomfortable by asking them if I could film, and I wanted to keep the experience as authentic as possible, and I didn't want the camera to take away from that. So that's the biggest challenge. Actually, what I found is, and to my surprise, is a lot of people actually really like being on the camera, and I didn't expect that, but it hasn't really been so difficult, and I don't think it's taken away any of the authenticity behind it, because I always ask after we've been talking for some time, so that way they already feel comfortable with me. My first hitchhiking trip, or let me back up for a second. I've always, since I was a kid, been interested by cultures, by people, by ways of life, by traditions, always, since as long as I can remember. And now, thinking about it in retrospect, Hitchhiking is just the outlet that I have for that interest. Now, when did I start my first hitchhiking trip? My first hitchhiking trip was in 2013. So in 2013, I was volunteering at a farm in Germany with a program called Woofing. Maybe some of you guys know it. While at that farm, I met another guy and we became friends because we worked together. And he had hitchhiked all around Europe. And he just told me about his experiences, about the people that he met, places that he went to. So I decided to try it because it sounded really cool from what he was saying. So I did. And the first time I went hitchhiking was from Prague to Madrid, and I loved it. I had a great experience. I met a lot of people. I saved up money from working, so that's how I initially was able to buy equipment and flight tickets. But during the year, I'm always thinking about doing this trip, so I'm always sacrificing on some things in order to have money to travel. Now, as I am traveling, I'm teaching English online. I don't have a lot of expenses. I travel with Hitchhike, and I only stay in hostels, couch surfing, or in my tent. So nowadays, a lot of times, my only expense is food during the day. But I do sacrifice on other comforts, which I'm fine doing knowing that I'm able to travel. I would rather be able to travel and sacrifice on some comforts than the other way around. And there are ways you can save money while traveling. For example, in a lot of countries, if you go to a bakery or if you go to a supermarket before they close, they will sell you the food for cheaper. So if you're just smart about it and not wasteful, you can really travel on a budget. Pretty basic, you know. Shirt, sweater, pants, socks, underwear. I have also obviously toiletries, silverware for food. I'll do a short video about this at some point in the future, but nothing too crazy or extravagant. It's pretty just standard things that you need. I try to not take too many things with me because I don't have to carry all that stuff with me. I would say the number one thing is to be patient, because you don't know when you're gonna get picked up, you don't know how long it's gonna take. It sometimes can be very frustrating, so be patient. Definitely have an open mind to the fact that you're gonna be meeting different people from different backgrounds. You're gonna be going to unusual places possibly that you didn't plan on going to. So have an open mind. I'm gonna talk more about this, but those are the first two that come to my mind. That was almost 3 days. It was in Canada, in BC, and it was in a town called Fort Nelson. And it was on the way to Alaska, but it was the wrong time of year to be there, and all the traffic was coming to Canada. None of it was going to Alaska. So I was there for 2.5 days, and I did not manage to get picked up, but I will at some point do that trip again. In the beginning, maybe the first 2 episodes, it was a little bit difficult, you know, like looking at the camera, but after that I got used to it. Now it doesn't bother me at all. Maybe in front of crowds sometimes, but it's not, you know, not too bad. The only thing that is difficult for me is the introductions. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but I get nervous in the introductions. I get uncomfortable. When I know what I'm gonna say, that's when I get uncomfortable. But when I'm, you know, outside meeting people, it doesn't bother me at all. I don't know, but I'm definitely leaning towards no, because the longer that I do this, the more I enjoy it. And I've been getting some emails and messages from people saying that this is inspiring them to go and hitchhike themselves, which is obviously very gratifying for me. And I'm really happy most days, you know, doing this and traveling and making these videos. Even though sometimes it's difficult, I really try to keep a positive attitude. So I think I'm gonna continue, but you know, I don't know, we'll see. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it answered your questions. If you have any more questions, you can always feel free to message me on Facebook, on Instagram, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. The reason for the video was also because if there's people that have the same questions but just hadn't messaged me yet, so now they have this video to answer those questions for them. If you enjoyed the video, please do a like. Please comment and let me know what you thought. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you get notified when I upload a new video. In the meantime, take it easy and see you guys soon. Peace. Tento.
That's my phone.